Hey everyone, my name is Rebecca Martin with Rebecca Martin Coaching, teaching you transformational public speaking skills for your workplace and also for your life. So, thank you so much for joining. Today, I am going to be talking about letting your perfectionism get in your way. I'm going to start this session by sharing that I hurt my arm, and I'm still going to make this video because I think these ideas are so important and valuable. But I'm noticing that it's hard for me to speak just because I can't move my other arm. So if you notice a few hiccups today, that's the reason. And I am starting with an example of showing how imperfectionism, being less than perfect, is actually useful and helpful in creating a connection while you're communicating. So that's one of the benefits of not being perfect, allowing yourself to be imperfect. So that's a sneak preview of where we're going. But I want to start with this idea of thinking that you have to be perfect in order to be a good public speaker. So many of my clients, as most of you know, I work with people one on one. When they come to me, what I find out, what I uncover is that what's holding them back from accelerating their abilities of becoming a better communicator and becoming a better public speaker, stepping into their presence, their authority, their confidence, is this idea that in order for them to come out and take these risks and speak up, they have to do it perfectly. And they're actually coming to me in order to train, to learn how to do this perfectly before they take that risk, before they take that step and push themselves into a bigger spotlight. So, what I'm here to tell you is that mindset of I have to do this perfectly actually inhibits you from expanding to your highest potential. So, what do I mean by that? I mean that when you think I have to do this perfectly, it keeps you from taking a risk, from experimenting, from speaking up, and giving your point of view at the beginning of a meeting because you're thinking, I got to do this perfectly. And I'm not going to do it perfectly if I do it right at the beginning and kind of off the cuff. And so it really keeps you from being in that growth mindset of, let me try something new. Let me experiment. Let me push myself. Because when you do these things, naturally, you're not going to do it perfectly. You're going to potentially fall flat on your face, or most likely, you're going to stumble a little bit. Maybe your content is perfect, but your delivery is lacking. Maybe you sound eloquent, but you know that you didn't bring all the value that you needed to bring. Maybe you said something that was partially incorrect. Maybe you felt, or that you will say something that's partially incorrect, and therefore you have to correct yourself. So, in order to expand your capabilities, expand your abilities as a communicator and public speaker, you have to be okay with making a mistake. You have to be okay taking a risk. And so, therefore, the first thing that we do in our one on one coaching is eliminate this idea that you have to be perfect before you speak up. Or in order to speak up, you have to know your content perfectly, you have to be able to deliver it perfectly, and you cannot make a mistake. I actually give my clients the homework. It's your job to make a mistake every day out loud because I want to teach them and you how to tolerate the feeling of, oh, I kind of did that imperfectly, or I kind of messed up and I have to now deal with that situation and move my way through it. When you do this, you give yourself a tolerance of it's okay to make a mistake. I got through it. I lived. In fact, I and other people benefited from me doing something imperfectly. So that's the second step we move into. I talk to my clients and I want to talk to you about number one, the mindset you have to have. So here's a mindset that can help you shift out of perfectionism. It's my job to make mistakes or be imperfect on a daily basis out loud in front of my colleagues, my peers, and my team. It's my job to be imperfect. It's my job to take risks. It's my job to make mistakes out loud and to be imperfect and to deal with it professionally. gracefully, and from a place of integrity. So now let me tell you why it's your job, because most of you might say, no, actually, it's my job to be perfect, to deliver the results, to not make an error. Yes, true. Ultimately, it's your job to deliver the right information, to get the correct or the best results. But you have to be willing to be in process most of your days until you finally deliver the ultimate product, right? So you have to have that kind of that in between time when you're still in process. So, yes, it's your job to be imperfect when you speak if you want to ultimately make the greatest impact. So, here's why it's your job to be imperfect. Being imperfect actually gives a gift to yourself and to other people around you when you speak up imperfectly. One, it takes the pressure off of you so that you can actually bring more of your value, bring more of your expertise, bring more of your authentic self, bring more of your subjective perspective, your point of view, maybe a contrary point of view. When you take the pressure off yourself, you actually allow yourself to bring more value, maybe even more than you thought you had, into a room, to a meeting, to a conversation. That's the benefit to you and, of course, other people. So being imperfect takes the pressure off of you. Being imperfect also sets an example as a leader to others. Now, let me ask you a question. If there are people that report to you, if there are people that are on your team, do you want them to be perfect? Do you want them to only speak up when they are perfect, when they know something perfectly? No, you probably don't. You want them to take risks, because when they take risks, they might come up with a great idea, or they might surprise themselves in coming up with something new. Only through taking risks can they grow and learn. Can you uncover what they know and what they don't know so that you can mentor and teach them better? You want others to be imperfect, to feel okay taking risks. You need to set that example of here's how you take a risk and here's how you navigate through it. So it helps you to become a better leader. Number two, I've already said this. Well, actually, this is number three. Number three, I've already said this, but when you speak up and you take a risk and you allow yourself to be imperfect, maybe deliver a half baked idea, an initial thought, your first instinct, a total brainstorm, a total idea from left field without thinking it through, therefore being imperfect, not sure that it's 100% correct or 100% solid. You haven't thought about it from every single direction, every which way, and just totally squash that idea and put it back to the back burner. You just let yourself speak. That's where our greatest ideas come from. Who knows? Maybe not that idea is the most important idea, but the idea that spurs in somebody else's mind, that might be the catalyst for a whole new way of, a whole new direction, a whole new way of thinking, a whole new brainstorming session in your group. So you never know what might be added or created because of your imperfect idea. So, imperfect ideas add to or spark creativity and new ideas. And you don't want to withhold that from the group. Um, Imperfection also, let me look at my notes. Aha! See, I'm just allowing myself to be entirely imperfect in front of you. The final benefit of being imperfect is probably the most important, and that is being imperfect shows that you're human. Ugh, that's the last thing I want to do. You're probably thinking, I want to be a polished, perfect professional, and I want to be impenetrable. I don't want anyone to be able to poke holes in me. You've got it backwards, because yes, maybe you want your intellect to be like sound. You want people to respect you. You want them to admire your authority, your confidence, your strong point of view, etc. You want that to be impenetrable. But you need to balance that with equal parts accessibility, contactability, authenticity, connectability. If we don't like someone, it's very hard for us to be convinced to follow their direction. So no matter where you so no matter how great your skill set, no matter how great your assertiveness and your authority, no matter how great your ideas are, you are going to have a hard time leading others, impacting others, affecting others, influencing others without having that likability factor, that authenticity, that trust, that connection. And do you know how we connect? Through vulnerability, through us seeing each other's human sides, human selves. When we build that connection, we build a bond. When we build a bond and we see each other in that human way, we build trust. When we have trust in an authentic way, we've got a relationship. And built on that relationship, we can move mountains. We can do things. We can collaborate. We can network. We are referred, etc. So much magic can happen when you feel connected with somebody. And without that connection, it's very easy to dismiss somebody. If you don't feel connected to them, it's very easy to not text back. It's very easy to not reply to an email. It's very easy to renege on your promise. So this contactability, this connectedness, this accessibility is so important, especially for us as leaders today. And how do we allow others in? We allow ourselves to be imperfect. We allow ourselves to show our human side. This vulnerability is so powerful. Follow the work of Brené Brown. And it's the hardest thing to do. It's not going to feel necessarily great. You might feel awkward. You might feel vulnerable. You might feel kind of revealed. That's okay. That's your work to do in order to allow yourself to grow and develop into the leader that you know you are and want to be, are capable of being. So this is my little pep talk to help you to allow yourself to be imperfect on a daily basis. And this is really going to allow you to see the growth and the blossoming that you are seeking. So action steps, redundancy here, action steps. Go ahead and have one moment of imperfection every day. Have a thought, an instinct, say it. Allow yourself to do it imperfectly, or like walk that edge of imperfection. Speak up, even though you've only halfway thought through an idea and you're not sure if this material is 100% correct. Answer a question without going and researching it and checking with all of your colleagues before delivering an answer. Take that risk. Answer that question by trusting yourself in the knowledge that you already have. These are all examples as to how you can practice being imperfect once a day. Once you begin to tolerate this feeling of being imperfect, you're going to allow yourself to do it more, and you're going to stop seeing it as a weakness and start seeing it as your strength, your superpower. Thanks so much for joining. If you like this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel and share with others. I'll see you next time. Mindset is the thing that's getting in your way. A presentation is simply a conversation, a dance that both of you are participating in.